I saw a thing, actually, a study that said speaking in front of a crowd is considered the #1 fear of the average person. I found that amazing. Number 2 was death. Death is number 2? This means to the average person, if you have to be at a funeral, you would rather be in the casket than doing the eulogy.
Why?
Okay, now let's take a look at things that people are only slightly less afraid of than public speaking, according to a Chapman University study. If you've ever felt this crippling fear, particularly before, during, or even after giving a speech, then you know exactly where this video is headed. Believe it or not, the terror that most of us feel during public speaking isn't necessarily something that comes from a learned experience. It's actually programmed into our DNA.
Oh, Mr. DNA, where did you come from? From your blood.
Back up for a sec. Have you ever seen what happens when animals make prolonged eye contact with each other? Our species uses eye contact for a variety of reasons. Preparing to connect, showing interest in a conversation, maybe even a little bit of flirting.
Hey, how you doing?
But as with the rest of the animal kingdom, when I get up in front of a room full of people preparing to give a speech, it initiates something buried deep inside my brain, and it's called the limbic system. This part of the brain actually has zero capacity for language or rational thought, and yet it's where our emotions and our decision-making abilities reside. Think about that for a sec. As I was thinking just then, I was actually using my neocortex, the newer portion of my brain, while the limbic system is actually responsible for that ever-familiar fight or flight reflex that we usually feel when we get up in front of a room to give a speech. Once we see all those beady little eyes looking at us, the limbic system recognizes them as potential threats, which activates the adrenal glands to start producing epinephrine, better known as super-concentrated liquid death energy. Ooh, that would make a good band name, Liquid Death Energy. Once epinephrine hits the bloodstream, all sense of rational control waves bye-bye. As soon as it gets to the heart, both heart rate and blood pressure increase, giving you that feeling like your heart is going to burst out of your chest like an alien. With all that extra energy, body heat rapidly increases. So what happens next? Even though the limbic system has so generously provided us with enough energy to effectively power a small village, think about what we're trying to do as speakers. Hold still, stay calm, speak. That massive difference between trying to stay calm and all the gigawatts of extra energy that we have on hand is ultimately what causes our muscles to start involuntarily twitching, leading to those classic trembling hands and knees. As if that's not bad enough, water gets redirected to the muscles to prepare for go time against that hostile audience, leaving my mouth feeling like I just ate a whole package of saltine crackers without a drop to wash it down. Worst case scenario, the throat dries up next, leading to my voice squeaking like a 13-year-old boy going through puberty.
My home, sweet home.
And the worst part? Trying to concentrate on getting that A, all that extra glucose that's going to the brain through the increased blood flow and blood pressure leads to me becoming the human version of the spinning beach ball of death. If this sounds familiar and you've felt these symptoms before, then guess what? You are perfectly, totally, 100% normal. We can work with this, but it takes commitment, work, and a wee bit of courage. First, we have to be willing to acknowledge our fears. Accept that you will feel these symptoms as soon as you get up to speak, and that it's totally natural and normal, but they go away pretty quickly. Don't ever expect to feel 100% prepared either. I recommend 75% confidence as a pretty good starting point. Keep a few of those extra nerves in your back pocket just to make you sound more authentic. After all, if you're over-prepared, you may sound over-rehearsed or fake to your audience. So, how do we get to that magical 75% mark? First of all, if you're not talking about something you actually care about, then you're setting yourself up to fail. How many times have you heard a speaker who clearly didn't care what they were talking about?
In 1930, the Republican-controlled House of Representatives, in an effort to alleviate the effects of the... Anyone?
Look, if you've even been assigned something to talk about and you don't really feel it, find a way to make it interesting. Find a way to get yourself into that speech, and it will automatically cut down on a huge chunk of those nerves. Second, seek out sources of uncertainty to eliminate. Check out the venue. Know what it looks like from where you'll be speaking. Learn more about your audience. And of course, the best thing you can do for yourself is practice until you feel that 75% confidence level. How do you know? Well, that's going to feel different for everyone, but when you hit it, you'll know. So focus your energy on knowing what to expect, including the location, the audience, and how the message is going to sound coming out of your mouth. Part of that 75% confidence lies in creating or constructing for yourself a positive image of your performance in your mind. You don't need to be unrealistic and overconfident.
It makes me wanna creep. Damn. It makes me wanna creep.
I got something for your mind, your body.
But you don't need to cut yourself down with negative self-talk either. Construct a realistic, confident image of how you're going to perform, and then take steps so that you can reach that prediction. In the next video, we'll expand this even more by taking a look at topic selection, which plays a big part in calming down these jittery nerves. See y'all next time.